Our heat went out in the middle of January, and I have two of these and two more upstairs, and we're just using electric fans, so I need to get this fixed. All right, quick little video here. My little project that has turned into a nightmare because I couldn't figure out what the problem was with my oil heater. The blower, when the fan would kick on, that I took all apart, that's the housing, and then that's the wheel. When I would turn the fan on, the wheel would scream like unbelievably loud. So I took it apart. I cut this big square in the heater side where the other side of the filter would be, because you can't get the fan out if you come out the front because that big electrical panel, and I can't get to the other side because that's the intake of the heater, and that's a wall. So the motor sits back around here and in the fan. I'll show you when I'm done. So I'm filming this because maybe it'll help someone. I just spread these conduit pipes and slide it in, slide it out. I've taken this thing apart at least 10 times. Turning it on, taking it apart, turning it on. First I thought it was the motor. That's my new motor and wiring. Here's the old motor. I thought it was the motor bearings going. So I got a new motor, which is right here. And that was a couple $100. And then I put it all back together and I turned it on and it still did it. So after 2 days of taking it apart, putting it back together, because I thought the wheel, when this fits in here, I thought the wheel was scraping against the inside of the housing. Scraping against the inside of the housing somehow. So I got new motor mounts for the motor, and that wasn't it. So what I've come to realize after everything was taken apart the 10th time is I'm going to check the actual wheel, which I totally counted out because I thought there's no way that it could be the wheel. So lo and behold, it was. All right, so I figured out the problem. I saw new scratch marks along the whole entire inner wheel of the blower, and I didn't know how these were made, but it seems like the inside is just like pressed in or something. The whole thing moves, and I don't know how they press it or it connects from the inside of the scroll cage to the outside, but I saw new scratch marks there, and I grabbed a pair of channel locks on this center stud, and I finally figured out that the inside of the wheel was spinning faster than the outside, like a rim spinning faster than a tire. And reason being it took so long to figure it out because you couldn't see. I mean, this is going probably 1,000 RPMs, and the outside's going like 900, so you can't really tell. All you hear is a loud screaming noise. So after everything I did 15 times, taking it apart and buying all new parts, I figured out it was that. So here's a quick demonstration of what was happening. I'm going to zoom in on the side and put my channel locks on the shaft nut. And I'm going to turn the inner wheel, and you can see, hopefully, that the inner wheel is spinning and not the outer wheel. You can kind of see it. Anyway, so I'm in my shop. I'm in my shop because I'm thinking if I TIG weld the top and bottom, side to side, and cross, and get like every third or fourth little spline or whatever you want to call it here, it should hold. I'm going to do both sides, and I'm going to TIG weld it without any filler material, so I don't add weight and ruin the balance of the wheel. So let's get started. I have to clean up each part of the wheel by hand, and then I'm going to start TIG welding. I'm going to clean this whole thing up anyway, but this is just for the welding portion. Just using a 1/2 inch fitting brush. I'll spin my table real quick so the welder can reach my vise over here. I tell you what, these wheels are awesome. You stomp on the thing, it goes down with the wheel, you lift it up, the wheel lifts, the post drops. I have one on each corner, and I've never had a problem with them. They don't break, bend, blah, blah, blah. They are great. All right, so I marked the kind of where I want to weld or fuse at, you know, as you call it, with no filler metal. So I got the top, bottom, side to side, cross, and then maybe if it doesn't feel rigid, I'll go in middle of these as well. But any more than that I think is overkill. It's pretty sturdy, so I think we'll be good. So I'm gonna just tack all of it and see how it goes. I'm using this Pyrex cup so I can see everything. You can see right through it and see what you're doing. It's really nice, and they're cheap. All right, I couldn't really film it because you couldn't see anything anyway. So tack there, tack there, tack there, there. Let's do the other side. All right, I got that side done. The other side done, and let's go try it on the my system. Only one way to test it. This was like welding a Coke can, like it just falls apart. So I had to add filler. Okay, so here's the housing. The fan blades sit like this, they sit depending on if it's clockwise, counterclockwise, your motor. And this, like this. That goes in that little notch there. So like that. And then there's screw hole to that and to that. All right, here's the whole motor. The shaft slides in there in that hole, and then these line up to those holes. I'm gonna screw that in real quick. All right, now it's ready to be put in and wired up, and then the capacitor goes right here, and then the ground wire goes to one of these, to that screw there. All right, looks pretty straight still, nothing got crooked from welding and warping, so let's put it in. All right, we're in. All right, I got that and that. I gotta get to the other side, crawl around and in the intake and get those two screws. So be right back. All right, so I was screwing in the other side, dropped a bolt inside the motor, had to disconnect the motor, take it all the way back out, get the bolt out. As I was reaching for the bolt, I cut my hand and now it's dripping. So this thing is making me look like a complete idiot, and I'm laughing. Alrighty, I got all 4 bolts in finally. Let's wire this up. I put male connections on the end of the unit side, and then I have females on the motor side. I'm going to zip tie these when it's all said and done, but it's all color coded, so it makes it nice and easy. Blue to blue, red to red, yellow gets nothing, black to black, and white to this pinkish white color. Okay. These, okay, I'm going to zip tie this stuff because I know for certain it's going to work this time. Wishful thinking. Alright, I'm going to hit the switch. I have the thermostat set up. I got thermostats pretty high on like 76 to make sure it turns on. I got those 3 bolts. I got the set screw tight. Let's turn it on, and I'm either going to be jumping for joy or throw this whole thing away. There it goes. Oh, quiet as a mouse. Quiet as a mouse. Let's go. finally, 3 days later, it's 1:30 in the morning and I got the heat on. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna wire all them up. My wife will be happy for the time being. Woohoo! I'll have to cover this up.